Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fangird Podcast, episode 40,
Hello.
part
Deuce.
2. I'm Josh Vasquez. To my right, Tommy Costa. To his right, Joey Vasquez.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Drinking out of my favorite, the View Cup.
And there's nothing in it. Joke's on you, idiots.
So why is it on the set?
It's acting.
It's part of the whole...
I have one right here.
Don't ask questions.
Oh yeah, right behind the box there.
Yeah. You got the mic.
Anyway.
You can gnaw on if you want to.
Guys, we got one last discussion topic for this episode of the podcast.
It's the first and the last.
It's the first of this video, the last of this podcast.
Like forever?
No. This episode of the podcast.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Right.
Guys, you heard of E3?
I've heard of you.
The Electronics Entertainment Expo. I believe I have heard of that, yes.
I was going to have you all guess what that
Is that why they call it E3?
Yeah.
Because there's threes?
Yeah.
And the beginning of
Electronic.
those words?
They could also call it... Well, no, never mind.
Did you think we weren't going to know what it stood for?
Yeah.
No, I was excited. I was hoping you would make something up that was funny.
No, we don't do that. This is not a comedy podcast.
Yeah. Anyway.
Alright, I can do it. 11 elephantitis-ridden eels.
Where's the R?
It's a hyphen. Elephantitis-ridden.
Right. That's, I mean, you could say that. That works.
That was hilarious. Alright.
Good job, Tommy. So this is, of course, the big gaming expo of the year. Every year, all the big games for the fall are announced, possibly for other years also too, by all the big names. You got your Sonys, your Microsofts, your Activisions, your Ubis, your Nintendos.
EA.
Although, and EA's. Nintendo hasn't been there for a couple years now.
Yeah, so
But
not Nintendo.
But usually, yeah. But they do a conference around. God damn it!
You said it, man.
I did say it.
Yeah, they always do their own.
They do their conference on
Direct.
the Nintendo Direct. Literally is what it's called.
Yeah.
Guys, we lost 2 more this year.
Uh-oh.
What?
2 powerhouses of the show floor, EA and Activision, have announced they will not be at E3 this year. They'll be opting to do their own Nintendo Directs.
They're doing Nintendo Directs?
Yes, yeah.
Whoa.
They've come out. They're all both going to be Nintendo first-party developers.
That's crazy.
He's lying.
Only developing for Nintendo
He's
consoles.
lying.
So these are big players in the E3 game.
Huge players.
A lot on the ground floor.
Yeah, EA usually even has their own conference as well.
Well, within the E3. Wow. So obviously this is a trend.
This is lending itself to the bigger discussion of, are these in-person expos for games going to be relevant for much longer? When on the internet, you can, for very cheap, just create your own direct video to the people, and people are still just as likely to see it.
Right. And what do we know about the process of these companies actually getting into E3?
Well, it's expensive.
So they're paying
First
for
of
it.
all, yeah. So to be on the show floor, to have a conference, that costs a lot of money because you're renting out the space on the show floor or at whatever theater or whatever you're doing your presentation at.
Right.
And then you're hiring, in some cases, celebrities to be at your thing
Right.
or to present the game or whatever. You're putting a lot of resources into it because it is this big spectacle, and you're getting people who aren't looking at the gaming news on a week-to-week basis, who are tuning in once a year, and this is their gaming news for the year. So you want to make it a big thing to capture as many people into your upcoming games as possible. That all being said, it is very expensive, and this news can be just readily available whenever.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
what
I
do we
mean-
think? Everyone looks to Tom.
You know, here's the thing, and I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, it's not like Sony or Microsoft dropped out.
Sure.
You know, EA, we're not going to get the next Madden announcement. And then Activision, we're not going to get the new Call of Duty title, Black Ops 4.
Yeah, I think really the bigger picture of what we're talking about is that this might be the start of a trend.
Yeah.
And
it should be. I think the Nintendo Direct reaches it's more than once a year, and
they
it
have
gets
one every month.
Yeah, and it gets more hype around it than E3 does, I think.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo has set themselves up in a pretty good position. Whereas at the time when they first announced that they weren't going to be at E3, it was considered like a suicide move. Like, you guys are down financially.
Yeah.
E3 is where you're going to get your casual gamers, which is your market, to watch. Honestly, that was the call for them that year. That was maybe a bad move that year, but now they've set themselves up to where now everybody knows where to find Nintendo news,
Right.
and they're ahead of the game in that sense. Whereas they were losing that casual market for that year, but now their casual market knows where to go. In E3 possibly not being a thing anymore eventually, and this isn't going to happen for years.
Right.
But it's getting smaller and less necessary.
See, like when I thinking about this, the way I approach it from an audience member standpoint, or somebody who, finds out about things that happen at E3, not somebody who's actually going. So basically, the majority of people who are who they're interested in speaking to and who are actually buying their products.
Right.
Like, the hype around E3 is what makes me sort of aware that it is going to be big news coming out, but I'm not necessarily even watching the stream, or I'm just looking to news outlets basically.
Right.
So why they now understand that we don't need to go through E3.
Yeah.
People are paying attention around this time.
Yeah.
All we have to do, we can do it our own way.
Right.
We can put on our own conference, or put on our own show or whatever, stream it, and go directly to the fans, and then reporters are going to pick it up and talk about it.
Right.
In the same way, and it's going to be cheaper.
Yeah, no, E3, so if you go to, say, your IGNs or your Game Informers online, the E3 schedule still includes Nintendo conference this time, this day.
Oh, they still advertise it.
Yeah,
Even though they're not a part of
because it's their E3 conference.
Right, they're doing it because...
Yeah, so it's still on there and everything. It's just they're not paying $500,000 to put on a show.
Right.
And it's worked out very well for them, I think. I think it was born out of them not wanting to spend that money when they didn't have it. But I think it has worked out where they now have this relationship even with their fans coming directly to them monthly now. Right. They had been doing it for a little while at that point anyway. But I think it's just a better model, and you don't need all the people there are just press anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like this is the way I see it. Nintendo really set themselves up right, because now they've changed the model from one big part of the year where you kind of you blow your whole load,
if you will,
to where people, maybe you announce something that's that's releasing pretty soon. And people pay attention to that, but then by the time, if you're announcing things that aren't for another year, people have forgotten. So now, Nintendo, instead of having a long conference every year, split theirs up and have 30-minute ones once a month or something, and everything's fresh. And beyond that, they've been able to turn their streams into a brand.
Right.
They are part of branding themselves.
To the point where when EA and Activision say, we're opting for a direct-to-the-fan solution, we say, like Nintendo, or like a Nintendo Direct. That's literally what it's called.
Exactly. So what's good for EA or other companies that are doing this is they can then brand their own streams as, this is the EA stream, and it's going to look different than the Nintendo stream or the Activision stream, and use that for further branding, which just makes more sense.
Yeah. This all being said, Nintendo is announcing a console this year. Mm-hmm. Does that play better on stage?
I think it would play better if they didn't do it at all. Maybe kind of whispered it to the audience without a microphone or something, and then just...
By the way, your Wii U that's only been out for that long is obsolete, and you gotta buy this new thing.
Yep, okay, bye.
But it is really a lot better, and it's gonna be great games, and hopefully bring us back into the market as a competitive player.
Yep, okay, good luck, guys. Have a nice Yeah, so that's what I think about that, but...
Not necessarily.
I feel like I didn't get an answer to my
question. What was the original question?
Does a console announcement play better to a crowd?
No.
It's not going to play better to this crowd. I mean, it's better that it's a bunch of Nintendo fans and not...
It is.
I mean, there'll be reporters, but hopefully there'll be fans who are sort of up for that. But this one's kind of different because I don't think anybody really wants this.
Everyone wants it.
This soon?
Yeah.
I think, don't they just want what they really want is for the Wii U to actually have been what was promised.
Yeah.
They don't want to have to spend more money on another one. They do want a better console, but...
Right, but the kind of the environment right now around Nintendo is announce NX already.
So basically just hurry up and start over.
Yeah.
So that we can move past the failure.
Right, so that we can jump on the NX bandwagon and be excited about it and just forget.
Wow, so Nintendo fans want to forget.
Wow. And I don't know. That's a different topic entirely. But I think the console announcement, I think it just looks better. It plays better with a crowd. I mean, let's not also forget that E3 in-person conferences lend to some pretty hype and fun, exciting moments. Like this past year when they showed Sony like knocked it out of the park with all their new announcements and everything. The crowd was going crazy for Final Fantasy VII Remake finally being announced and The Last Guardian finally being re-announced.
Yeah, so...
Okay, so the difference here with that versus the Nintendo Direct is that on the Directs they don't... It's more than once a year, so they don't have to... They can announce smaller things and get the entire internet all excited together at once. Like when they announce Cloud, like that's something that's too small to spend that much money to announce at E3.
Right.
But they almost broke the internet.
Yeah. No, that's a great example, and I think the Directs coming out steadily throughout the year has helped them a lot because you have people thinking about the brand throughout the year.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time there's Direct, they're like little mini E3s.
Yeah.
And then they have their bigger one at E3. But the trade-off is their E3 conferences now, they're not that exciting.
Right.
They don't have that big of things to announce every year because we know throughout the year.
When do they do their... Oh, that's more of a Smash Bros. Tournament. I'm thinking, when do they do like their tournaments?
They usually do them around E3.
They do around E3,
Yeah.
That's right. See, I think that's sort of their making up for the lack of buzz.
Yeah.
'Cause they have like their big tournaments so that they can drive some more viewers.
It's true. And I went back after I heard this news and I watched the original E3 announcement of the new Zelda game, which at the time in 2004 was Twilight Princess. And this was coming off the kind of, not disappointment really, but like, kind of disappointment in seeing the announcement for Wind Waker and everybody thinking like, oh, it's like a cartoon. Wanting that realistic looking like Zelda, and then it had been kept completely secret, no screens or leaks or anything, and then they showed that trailer and you didn't know what it was at first. You just saw this realistic world and there were these things, and then there's a horse, you can see it riding across and you can't really see who it is, and then as the camera gets closer and the horse is running, you see it's Link on there, and then it shows gameplay and he's fighting the bad guys or whatever, and then it ends with Link staring straight into the camera and he like does the sword thing and he sheathes it, and then the screen comes up and Shigeru Miyamoto is standing there with the sword and shield like Link was.
Oh shit.
And I have seen this video maybe 25 times. I cry every time. The crowd is insane. I've never seen, there's never been a reaction like that at E3 ever, before or after.
Jesus.
The crowd was going absolutely crazy, and maybe we don't get those anymore. But
I mean, see, that's on Nintendo to draw up that that level of excitement.
yeah, but they're still not
It's
presenting
definitely
to a
hard.
crowd.
But again, I think presenting to the internet is a bigger, more important crowd today than presenting to a room of people who are going to clap.
Yeah,
we've seen presentations that are awkward for both the people in the crowd and on the internet.
Sure.
Well, I mean, they're great for the internet because then we get to
you
make videos.
You take the good with the bad, sure, but you don't get that like in person like everybody's like going crazy.
Yeah.
They just were releasing because Twilight Princess just got re-released, and they're doing a series right now on the Nintendo YouTube channel where they're going kind of a retrospective of the development of the original game. All the developers are coming back and they're talking about their experience making the game and stuff. And one of the things they said was after the release of that E3 trailer, it like really reinvigorated the developers, saying like, okay, like people are obviously really excited about this. Then we got re-excited about it to continue making it, and at a time where, you know, this is the first like real like not HD but like realistic looking picturesque Zelda, and that like really helped them getting that response.
That's actually something interesting that I guess we're kind of losing out on with just the streams, no live audience.
Mm-hmm.
Is that this is sort of one of the main ways where fans can either say, yes, we like what you're doing, or we don't.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easy to ignore. I mean, maybe not for them, just because they're so big and people are going to be tweeting at them, and messages will get to them online. But when a crowd audibly reacts like that,
Yeah.
then you're like, oh, okay, we're doing something right.
Yeah.
And when they're like silent and you don't get the reaction, then you know you're not doing right. So that's interesting.
Although they heard loud and clear what we thought of Metroid Prime Hunters last E3.
Love it.
Not quite.
Is that just me? Or?
So yeah, you take the good with the bad. Both, I mean, both have their pros and cons, but what I think it ultimately comes down to, unfortunately, is that they can reach the same amount of people for no money.
Yeah, if not more,
Online.
because it's specifically targeted
Right.
for an online audience, which is the majority of your viewership.
Well, do you think as many people are gonna watch the EA and Activision directs though?
Well, and another thing too is these are obviously third-party developers. When Microsoft and Sony are still doing conferences and they cover third-party games,
Right.
so their games will still be covered on stage.
So that's the other thing. It's just not worth it for them to be doing either.
Okay,
See,
so they get the win-win here.
Yeah, kind of.
But at the same time, like this
Call
is
of
their
Duty always has like a 30-minute spot at
Of
the end of
course.
Sony's.
of course. But the other thing is like this is their first year, so obviously it's not going to be as successful as what it could be. In the same way that Nintendo's wasn't, you know, you pull out a V3 and people don't really know where to look for
where they
you.
go, yeah.
Like you haven't figured out exactly how to do this correctly on your own yet, but it's starting the trend, and it's in a few years they'll develop their own brand for it and hopefully be doing better with it. But yeah, I think it's definitely more interesting this way.
Yeah,
because the majority of people are watching it through the stream, so might as well target those people specifically.
right. Well, they know they're still going to get coverage
Absolutely.
on the IGN
Yeah,
and everything.
exactly.
So, and that's where people are usually watching the streams anyway. So, well, guys, let us know what you think about the E3 formats of releasing new information unto the public. Let us know what you think about Activision, EA, Nintendo not participating anymore, and where you think E3 is going. I'm Josh. That's Tommy. That's Joey.
Tell me the future.
You'll see us next
Way
week.
to bed. See you guys later.